Hey, hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good.
So as you know, I'm the agent for Diego Primadonna, and
Yes.
I'm here to discuss the opportunity for him to rejoin Rio.
Yep.
Um, so my understanding is that he got in touch with you previously to discuss the possibility of him rejoining.
Yep.
So I was wondering maybe if you could, share your thoughts on how you would see this working, because I understand that you expressed some interest to have him back.
Yeah, sure. I would love to share on that. We had a good conversation, and I think he's a good player. I just be very clear on that, and we definitely welcome
Mm-hmm.
him to, come back to Rio and um, play for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he was a star back in the days, and now he's a little aged,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows that as well. But still, I think he expressed the interest, and we're willing to accept the interest as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we want him to be back here. So, uh, yeah, um, he also very open to express some of his condition as well.
Mm-hmm.
What happens about him, some of the injuries he had,
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps
Yes.
actually premier reasons, and he thought about why the injury happens, and he shared about that too.
The injury.
Yeah, the injury he had,
Mhm.
but he had it last season.
We had the injury in the second half of the,
Yes.
I think third or fourth
Yeah.
season.
Mhm.
I believe that was a sporting injury.
Yes.
But obviously that was quite some time ago, and he's had some quite time to recover since then. He's been on the bench for the last couple of years, and from what I can tell you, like obviously you spoke over the phone. I met him just yesterday, and he
Yeah.
seems to be very fit, in top shape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the injury will be an
Well-
issue, especially given that it's
I definitely understand that, but just
Mm.
think about from my standpoint, something
Yeah.
it's a risk, right?
Mm.
He's good. That's why I want him, right?
Yeah.
Like otherwise, I won't
Yeah.
want him. But like that's a risk on my side. Just
Mm.
and he was pretty open about that too,
Mm.
because that's well, he knows his condition, and I'm very happy that he was open. So
Yeah.
and well, just to express some of my feeling about the conversation I had with
Mm.
him is that definitely I think it's a good match.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a good match, and that's why I'm standing here and willing to talking to you and trying to
Yeah.
explore. There's some things we
In
can.
terms of position, we agree that it would be a starting forward position.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because this is obviously very important.
I'd
I
be-
think
I'd
that
be
this is
happy.
something that would also be beneficial for your club as well, because obviously it's a big name. That already has a following within your fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would definitely help, attract more customers or more fans to the stadium.
Yeah. See, like my plan is, he was a star forward.
Mm.
Like that's what he was. But like consider his condition, he's quite old. But start forward
Yeah.
like has to be,
Yeah.
really super fast.
Mm.
And we play football. We know that. So I will put him at the start forward first.
Mm-hmm.
Just let him try out a couple of times. But I'll because his condition and his age and stuff. And I'm not exactly sure. I would just like say 100% he's there. But I would say I'm willing to kind of.
I mean, I think
forward and try out.
I think
so.
we would need to
By having him on the team, yes, it's something I want.
because I think that's just one of those things where I don't think that he
Mhm.
would want to be on the bench any longer, because obviously he's done that partially due to the injury
Yeah.
and other factors in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this is something that this is quite keen for us to at least
Sure.
have him start
Good.
in that position. I think as I mentioned, it will also help in terms of PR to have a known player, because obviously your team now consists of a lot of young players. I think that it would be definitely beneficial to have him back, to just to attract people to the stadium again. And I think the other thing is that obviously you have a lot of young players, but what Diego can also bring is some maturity to the team. So obviously the fact that he is a bit older, but having said that, he's been there, done that before, so to say. And I think that in that sense it could kind of, he could also mold together your team, which can then bring you victories. So not only can he bring the people to the stadium, but he can also help train the team, in effect be like a second trainer almost to the team.
Yeah, for sure.
So given this, I think that like the only thing that for us is very important is the position, to at least start with is the starting position.
Is this the only thing you care?
Well, this is I think a big priority for us, and I think it's also something that for you is also beneficial, because if he's not, then you will not be able to get the publicity element, which is I think part of the reason why Diego is an attractive addition to your team, is to have someone with a big name who your fans know already, to attract people to the stadium. So for us this is very important.
But he was just wondering, like he was a star forward at two other teams before, right? Like.
I think
he was on the bench, but he was injured. But
he was injured, yeah.
But the reason he was injured, otherwise he was a star forward, right?
Yeah, but he was injured.
Okay.
He was injured. The last two he was injured.
Why does he left it? I mean, like he didn't tell me the reason, but
I think the reason is that he felt like he was already ready to go back to the to play forward, star forwards, and obviously it didn't work back then. And I think this is one of the reasons why he wanted to leave, because he wanted to he kind of felt like he wants to have the opportunity to play again.
I see. It's not about the paycheck and everything.
And obviously, we should discuss that next. But I think the priority was for him to be able to kind of play to his full potential, because as we know, after he left Rio first time around, he then went on to
I think it's the San Diego, or like
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, yes.
Perhaps, and I know he still continued to play extremely well.
Yeah.
And then obviously after the injury, he had some time off. But I think, especially taking into consideration how long that it has been some time, I think he has been fully recovered.
I think it's a good point. It's something we can discuss. Like as I mentioned, like he had injury. He had he's 37. Like we have to do a running test to see if it's actually okay. But we do consider him being the star forward, as I mentioned. This is something we could discuss.
I think maybe one thing we could do is maybe do a shorter term contract.
Shorter term
to start with, so that you can have comfort to see if he can
that could be something.
I think that's something that's fair, because that I think would give him the opportunity to prove himself, and for you to
check
to get also to get comfort about your concerns.
Well, these are the things we could talk about. How about the no matter it's a long-term contract, short-term contract, right? That involves in some of the salary side. Well, I checked his salary before, and he was very open on that, and tell me about his salary before, and for me as we're a good team, right? Like we're a young team. Considering his condition and also the whole team, and also actually, I mean, part of it we do consider our interest too, like to having him and coaching the team, as you said.
Yeah.
So that I would say I will match what his last salary like. I think it's the
Which you believe is?
as what he told me, and his salary was, let me just reconfirm with my number from my computer. Salary is 110K, so that was his last salary. Something could happen to me, injured, right? Like you injured one time, it's easy to get injured again. Like, he was earning quite a bit of salary back in our days when he was at Pick, and
I mean double that, right?
Yes, but that's when he was picked, right? And that is his pick time. But we could consider about adding it up when he gets better, right? Like, but that's something we could talk about it. So it depends on how his performance. But I would say, according to his history, and also according to his condition, and also according to the situation, other teams concerned as well. Like as a benchmark, like, other teams thought he was gonna play well when he gets better, but he couldn't because he keep injuring, right? Like his injury wasn't good recovery. So same thing for us could be happen too. We think he's doing well now, but it might be trouble for us too. But as I said, I'm very interested in having him on board, and also because we think we expect he will do well. That's why we'll bring him. So otherwise, it's actually a burden for us, right? If it's, we have to pay, and he's injured, and we have to do all the covers for medicals. And
okay, so you're saying 110?
Yes.
And what would be the time frame for your probation, so to say? Because I think making it,
So I think I don't see that. So basically.
And what would be the step up? So once, if you were, say, comfortable with his condition, then what would be your
that's a very good question. Like that.
The pay, because my understanding is that these days, the top players obviously are getting paid extremely high salaries. Which I understand is probably not something that we can match. So that I'm thinking more like,
so
40,000 is obviously.
This is how I think.
Probably too much, but I would think that getting closer to what he used to be earning at your club, the 220, which is obviously now half of the market rate for the top players. I think would kind of be the goal for us.
So let me give you some proposal and see what you think, right? So, this is how I feel. I know he earned 220 when he was at Pick time, but as I said, that's Pick, right? So,
having said that, the market rate for top players has also doubled in the meantime.
Well,
so
not
like
according.
440.
No, not according to my statistics over here.
No.
No. But I mean, according to my statistics, that I know my salary for starting players. My average salary of starting players is 210, 250.
Yeah.
Okay?
But
And that's
but
the high pick. So like.
But if you think about it, don't you think the 110 is then quite low?
No, but as I said, that's starting. I mean, that's the starting point, right? So.
Because I mean,
we could see his performance in a way. We construct like let's say.
I mean, I think that the way we should do this is that there's a certain level of probation where you can get comfort, like, I don't know, 3 months or
So I feel like his
something.
cap, like for this season, his cap will be double of what I have right now. Like let's say 110, that's what I have. So if you do well, like in a
220,
way,
okay.
and 220,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's
And that's
it's good.
double.
It's good for him. It's good. It's good for me. Then he will keep
Yeah.
playing harder and stuff. But that's
And
the
what would be the
high,
time-
the,
well,
the cap.
Yeah,
right?
what would be the time horizon that you think would you would need in order to make the decision of whether you're comfortable basically
That's
raising him to this?
I think how long is the season? The season's like 4 months or something, right? I think it's a 4 month. Let's say 4 months, and I think 2 months of trial. That's I think that's reasonable.
Okay, so 2 month trial, but he can start in the star forward position.
Well, as I said, he will be there are two things, right? One is star, one is forward, right? As I said, so I know he was a forward. He's pretty good at that. But because his age, right? So I might fit him into different team within different in past 2 months. In the 2 months, I will kind of work with him a little bit. And see how it works. And
I mean, because as I said, for us, this is quite an important factor.
Okay.
The start forward
Okay.
position is very
Sure.
forward. So I think we're happy to give you a trial period. We're happy to basically have him
Okay.
play for half, But I think that then I think we would want to be sure that he has the start forward position.
Would he be able to actually lower his salary at the beginning to play the star forward?
I mean, I think this is already very.
It's very low.
I mean, if you think about it, like
Okay.
half, it's a huge discount, right? So
Yeah,
I think,
but that's well, if he can bear that with the other team, and he can bear it for us, right? Even
Why?
he like us, right? Because
I think it's
we're his real team.
yes. Having said that, he it's obviously a different position than what he was playing previously,
Yeah, yeah.
and so obviously the rates are different, and B, I think that the value add he can bring is obviously a lot more for your team than for any other team as well, because he has the fan base, he has the name that helps because to complement your younger team.
For sure.
And
for
also
sure.
the training
Yes,
that
yes.
he can bring. So I think as a combination of all these factors, I think that the 110 is already quite an attractive price, especially given that you have a
Okay.
half a season trial,
Yeah. Well.
right? So I think if you think about it, your downsides are very much capped.
Well.
Because you get to you pay like half a salary for 2 months.
Oh well, I'm not paying half the salary. That's my full salary. Just to be clear, that's my full salary.
You just said that your starting salary is 200.
That's
for
that's my
players.
cap. I'm saying I'm willing to have that within the specific range. So that's my salary. So this is if we play well,
Yeah.
and that's the maximum I can pay. So I'm showing my budget. This maximum I can
Okay.
pay. Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Like my budget, like that's maximum I can pay. So I'm feeling like that. We have to explore that, right? There's one way we did explore, and it's saying, okay, we can have like a, let's say.
I think the trial kind of addresses that, no, though, because you can always see, and then you will.
Any other things, I'm willing to pay higher salary, but any other things you could kind of think about it and see. Should give him like the salary higher. I don't know.
I mean, think about it. I think.
I think
it's
it'll be
a
good.
very
Right? If he join us, he can make some advertisement money, right? Can he make some advertisement money?
He probably can. I mean,
Yeah.
first he'll have to join, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I think that obviously is something that I think is then the next step.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what we should, I think, is a very attractive proposal for both of us. If he starts as a start forward, for a trial period of 2 months for
Mm-hmm.
$110,000, and then after this trial period, if you are then comfortable about his injury, age, and also and then you can also see the added benefit that he brings in terms of the fan base. So basically tickets to the stadium and the training capability that he can bring to the team. Then we can reassess. The financials.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but like most important for me
He's
is
also running out of time.
how many minutes we need.
I think 20 minutes is
Really?
recommended.
Okay, sure. So yeah, let's talk about that, and I think.
So I think this is a good proposal that we have now.
Well, but the only question I have, as I said, it's we need. That's my cap number.
Yes,
it's not
we're not even mentioned. So I think for now, let's go for the 110 with the trial period, 2 months trial period,
Yeah.
and the starting forward position, and then I think we can then renegotiate once you've also gotten comfort from your end, and we can see, the value that he brings to your team in terms of publicity and in terms of training, and obviously.
Yeah, sure.
The play. I think that's
Okay. That's the deal.
then we have less uncertainty.
So let me write that down. 110.
It's 110 starting for 2-month trial periods in the start forward position.
2-month trial. So basically half season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see half season.
Yeah.
Instead of say 2 months, half season. And starting forward.
Yeah, and then we'll reassess, the basically salary, like the financials and any public advertising that could be done. We can reassess that
After
once we see
2 months.
what.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your
Definitely.
time.
Yeah.
Thanks.